41st anniversary of the Return of Godzilla. It was released this day in the year 1984. So it is 41 years old today. It is one of the greatest Godzilla films ever created, in my honest opinion. Returning to the origins of the original 1954 film with a darker feel to it. Well, not as it's not as dark as the original 1954 film, but it's a pretty dark film, and darker than most of the Showa films that came after it. And it had a very serious tone to it, a wonderful message about nuclear power and the repercussions of what tampering with nuclear weapons can cause, and how Japan is caught in the crossfire between America and Russia, wanting to use nukes on Godzilla to seize him. But Japan is afraid that there's going to be another incident like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And so they cry out. The prime minister disagrees with both the Russian prime minister, and I think it's I don't know, it's not the president of the United States that talks for America and at the press conference in the film. I think it's like vice president, maybe, perhaps. I'm not too sure. But yeah, very strong message about nuclear war, nuclear fire, nuclear arms, and so on and so forth. So great film, one of my favorite films, and I was kind of hoping that Criterion would do a re-release of the 1984 film, possibly do what they did with Godzilla versus Biollante. Possibly in the future, maybe we'll see Criterion do something with 1984 if we're lucky. So there's always hope. There's always hope for something. So, and they did Godzilla vs. Biollante. They did all the Showa films. I don't see why they wouldn't do the Heisei films and possibly the Millennium films. So, it would be nice to see these films brought back on physical media to 4K or anything. Would be nice to see it get the recognition it deserves, so people aren't just scrounging for these movies, because it used to be on the Pluto channel, and Pluto lost the rights to the Godzilla films, the Toho Godzilla films, and Toho lost rights to the Godzilla films, and so there's no place you can watch them. Oh, well, I think you can watch not all of them. I think you can watch most of the Godzilla films on HBO Max. Hello, everyone. Hello, Brantley. Hello, Sweet Frog. Welcome. Here to talk about the Return of Godzilla. Today is the 41st anniversary. What the heck? I'm going to delete that comment. It's going good. It's going really good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah. So yeah, day's going well, but yeah, we're here to talk about the Godzilla 1984, the return. That's okay. Hide. All right. But yeah, we're here to talk about Godzilla 1984. It was released 41 years ago today. Oh, I'm not, but I am an ally. Just, I'm not, I'm a male. I was born male, so yeah. But no, I do have plenty of friends that are trans and so on and so forth, and I have a lot of respect for them and a lot of love. So, but anyways, back to the topic at hand. We're talking about the Return of Godzilla, and it was released 41 years ago today in 1984, and it's a dark Godzilla film, one of the best Godzilla films of that. Okay. It's one of the greatest films in my honest opinion. I think it's a great Godzilla film, and I highly recommend that you all check it out. And I think that it really deserves a re-release. You know, we haven't gotten anything for it as of recently, and I'm hoping that Toho announces something, or possibly Criterion. You know, whatever. I'm just hoping that we'll get something. You know, I would just be grateful because, like I said, Return of Godzilla has been locked away, hidden. The only way you can watch The Return of Godzilla is on cable, or on HBO Max. I don't even know if it's on HBO Max. I don't, because it's not on Pluto anymore. But the only way you can get a hold of it, well, I hate to tell you, this is a Godzilla channel. So if you don't like Godzilla, then you're probably not going to like my channel. So you might want to leave. So, okay. Just saying. All right. Because that's what this channel is about. I know someone once complained about it, because they're like, "Oh, talk about something else," and it's like, this is a channel about Godzilla. My title in my name says Valenquil, the Gothic Godzilla Man, so that's what this channel is about. And yes, I know the Flying Turtle Gamera. I have the Gamera Heisei trilogy. But how can you be over the age of 8 and still watch Godzilla? See, I'm gonna stop you right there because if you haven't seen the 1954 Godzilla film, you have no place and no right to say anything like that. Because that film is about the suffering of Japan during Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And you see a lot of brutal imagery in that film. And it's not for kids, it's not for 8-year-olds, it's for adults, and it was a message for the time about the dangers of nuclear warfare. So, yeah. Okay, I am. Yeah, I am. David, I am stopping him. There we go. Perfect. There, now we can get back to what I was talking about earlier. So at what was it, David? Yeah, David, you were saying that how can you still be an adult? And oh yeah. Well, David, if you don't like Godzilla and you don't like this channel, then you don't have to stick around. Well, welcome, Nelvin. Welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's try to keep the chat positive and about topics at hand. Let's try to keep it around Godzilla and try to, you as well, Brantley. Thank you. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I'm sorry I let that, I got a little out of hand there earlier, but there was someone that was saying some comments that were a little unnecessary, and someone saying that Godzilla was just for kids, and it's not just for kids. How old am I? Well, Nelvin, I'll let you be the judge of that. How old do I look? Anyways, folks, yeah. So, like I said, Return of Godzilla is very hard to find. Oh, thank you, Nelvin. I appreciate that. I'm actually 38 years old, so you're close, but yeah, no, I'm 38, and oh, bye. It was nice talking with you, Nelvin. Thank you for joining. But anyways, yeah, everyone. With the Return of Godzilla, it hasn't had a re-release since 2016, when Kraken Pictures got a hold of it and re-released it, and ever since then you can't get a hold of it. It's like I think about $60 or $70 now. You can't get a copy of it. So, and I've talked about it before, but yeah, it's the 41st anniversary of the Return of Godzilla, and if you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Don't see 1985, or at least watch Return of Godzilla first, then watch 1985 to get your honest thoughts and opinions on it, because 1985 is a completely different film, completely different from Return of Godzilla. So I highly recommend checking that out if you have not. But yeah, it's a great film. Definitely great. There's a lot of great Godzilla films that are dark, that have meaningful stories, that aren't just kaiju action, and that focus on a dark message. So, to counter David's argument about Godzilla being for just 8 year olds, no, it's not for 8 year olds. Um, it's for adults. You have to just search. I mean, Minus One was an adult film. It dealt with survivor's guilt. Hiroshima, Koichi Shikishima was a kamikaze pilot that did not go through with it, and he struggles with survivor's guilt. So yeah, that's covers a lot of heavy topics. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if anyone else is gonna join, and hopefully not say negative things. Hopefully. But you know, it's YouTube. You're gonna run into people that are negative. So a lot of people say that it's recommended that you stay on YouTube live for at least an hour at most. So let's check this guy out. Still here, David, or did you leave? I think people left when they realized that this was just about Godzilla and nothing else. So, but yeah, no. I guess I could show you my Return of Godzilla collection. I have an original copy of Godzilla 1985. I could show you all. So this is my original copy. I got this when I was a kid, about 7 or 8 years old. My dad bought this for me. It's a little rough. It's in rough condition, but I've had it for a long time. It's one of my favorite Godzilla films. Yeah, but I highly recommend it if you all haven't seen 1985. Like I said, it's one of the greatest Godzilla films ever. And the only thing I didn't like about Return of Godzilla was I didn't like Godzilla's eyes in that film. He was cross-eyed, and it just didn't look right. Didn't match with the rest of the outfit or the suit. Didn't match with any of that. And I was that was the only thing I had a problem with was the eyes. So, or his eyes. But other than that, it was a great film. Great film, great message, great actors. Um, and even the Vagrant, as much crap as I give the Vagrant from 1984, he was still pretty funny. You know, it was. It's not what the film needed. The film did not need the Vagrant because of the comedic aspect. Like he was a great character and he was funny and likable, but like I've said many times before, and I'll keep saying it, if they were trying to recapture the magic of the original 1954 film, then they should have left the comedic elements out. Like, I mean, if it's subtle, that's fine. Like, Godzilla Minus One had some subtle comedic moments, but like I said, they were subtle. And it wasn't like in your face, oh, ridiculous, goofy slapstick humor, and that's what the Vagrant did for the film. He's just running from Godzilla. Tells him to back off, and then he's taking stuff from the restaurant, and tells Godzilla he's got to learn some manners. And I'm like, no, 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 no. But yeah, no, like I said, that was my only grievance with the film. But yeah, today is 41 years of Godzilla 1985. My favorite Godzilla film. And yeah, I think that's all I can say about the film. And, if you haven't seen it, you all should go check it out. And thank you for joining me. And you all have a good night.